I bought a refurbished Nintendo 3DS XL from GameStop before the eShop closes, and in this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at it and see if they actually refurbished anything. In classic GameStop, the 3DS is sliding around like crazy in the box, so let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Alright, so let's open it up. Oh yeah, we've got that completely useless packaging here. So taking a look at the packing slip here, as you can see, I paid $160 for this, which is not a bad price for a 3DS XL, especially when you consider the fact that DK Oldies and Lucky Games are selling these things for $300. $300, guys, crazy. But let's go ahead and pull it out. And yeah, here is our 3DS XL. I think it's a red one. I also bought some games that are in this package right here, and we'll open those up as well. And guys, personally, I think this might be the last 3DS that GameStop ever sells on their website, because I look at GameStop a lot, and I haven't seen a 3DS for sale on the website in forever. I haven't seen one since I bought this, and this is really old packaging. I haven't seen the Recharge branded thing in a pretty long time, but as you can see, it says premium refurbished Nintendo 3DS XL. Let's see if you look at the back, it says it is a red one, GameStop refurb. Now let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's in here. And yeah, considering the fact that this has really old packaging, I almost feel like they just found this laying around in their warehouse somewhere. And oh yeah, man, I forgot about this packaging. I used to see packaging like this from GameStop back like 3 years ago when I bought stuff from GameStop, and they kind of strap it on top like this. We also have a simple little guide. We also have an AC adapter here, which appears to be authentic, I think. Yeah, it looks like it's authentic. We'll put that to the side. And let's go ahead and take this console out of this wrapping here. Take a look at it. First glance, doesn't look too bad. Got some scuffs and scratches on the top. Nothing too crazy. Back is pretty scuffed up. Again, nothing too crazy. They did include a stylus. And yeah, let's open this bad boy up. Oh, we got a little screen protector. Whoa, what is going on here? I sure hope that is a screen film. Okay, so, oh yeah, there we go. So my guess is here they replaced the screen. But let's just go ahead and start by taking the screen protector off. Nice and satisfying. And this one is, oh, it's tight. And looking at the screen, it looks pretty good. I do see one little nick right there. You can probably actually see it in the camera. I don't know if that's under the screen. That's probably something you won't see once you turn the console on. Now the buttons, the joystick is a bit beat up. Nothing crazy. Buttons all click, no problem. It looks like somebody chewed the mic down here a little bit. These buttons are a little bit dirty. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on. We do have life. All right, so it did boot up. Let me go ahead and start all this stuff and make sure it works. Time to name my profile. We're gonna go with the classic. Go Joe. Or Jow. That works too. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and open up these games before I get to the rest of the console. And the sad thing about these games, I bought like 4 or 5 games, I think. And you can already tell just the fact that it's in a package like this that they did not come in the cases. And that's the gamble with GameStop. You never know if it's going to come in the case or just loose. Let's go and take those out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're all just in their own little individual packages here. Oh, that one's actually in a plastic thing. Interesting. So, are these like custom made? I didn't know they made these little disc sleeves where they only show the centerpiece and they staple around it so it doesn't fall out. It's just kind of funny. But we got Super Smash Bros. 3DS. We've got Super Mario Bros. 2. Then we have Mario Kart 7. And last but not least, Star Wars 3. Lego Star Wars, excuse me. But we'll test all these out and make sure they all work. Nice. So, first attempt to load up the game. Oh, there it is. Okay. Usually, in my experience, when I put a 3DS game in, it usually loads up immediately. That one took like 5 seconds to load up. But it did load up. Put that one in, loads up no problem. I guess it just needed a minute to think. 2 out of 4 so far. 3 out of 4. And last but not least, we got Mario Kart 7. We'll make sure that one works as well. And there we go. Okay, cool. So the games work. The cartridge slot works. Also do need to try out a DS game as well. So let me go ahead and grab a random DS game. All right, so we got Carnival Games for the DS. Make sure that boots up as well. And yep, there it is. All pixelated and everything. And yeah, I'm very curious actually what system software we are on and if there needs to be an update. Because like I said, my theory is that this console's been sitting around the warehouse for like ages. I just don't even know if GameStop actually accepts 3DS trade-ins anymore. But we're on version 11.16.0-49U. So let me look this up and see when it's from. So actually the firmware is not that old. It's from like October of last year, 2022. So my theory is probably incorrect. Let's go ahead and just check out some other stuff on this console and see how it works. We'll test out this touchscreen. Make sure it's calibrated, of course. Yeah, so touchscreen calibration looks good. Now we'll test the mic, of course, with the nice hard blow. Yeah, it looks like it works. And do you guys remember playing those games? Like, I haven't played a game in ages that actually used the microphone on a DS or 3DS. I mean, a lot of games in the original DS had the mic functionality, and you had to blow in like a balloon or something. And that was always just kind of cool. But let's go back and want to test out these cameras and see if they work. The cameras are actually usually a gamble on the 3DS. Now, if the cameras don't work, sometimes the console won't turn on at all. So I'm pretty confident they probably work. We'll, of course, test them out anyway. And then, of course, later on, we're going to open this console up as per usual. Let's go ahead and open this 3DS camera up. I'm actually curious if there's an SD card in here. There's probably not, but we'll check. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, never mind. Could not find an SD card. Disappointing. I was hoping they left one in here, but not too surprised they did not. All right, so the front camera works. You can see my table here. You can see some games. I don't know if anybody actually uses this camera. Now let's flip this camera around. Do a selfie right here. Oh yeah. Perfect. It works. Now I actually have some 3DS AR cards laying around, so I'm gonna try these out. I've never actually used these. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You can kind of see on my screen I'm angled because I have to keep it far away from the card, but definitely works. I've never used it before. It's one of those classic like Nintendo things where you'll probably use it for a little while, but not. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with the AR games on the 3DS. And let's go ahead and boot up the eShop because that's the big news right now. The eShop closes at the time I'm making this video. It closes in a few days. So let me know when you're watching this video because like it's always nostalgic to experience an eShop like this, and then you go back down, later down the line, like 5 years from now. You'll come back and watch a video like this and be like, man, I miss the eShop. Even though you probably don't really need it, you probably don't really miss it, but it's still just like one of those nostalgic things in your head. Whatever update I'm on must be the latest because I was able to boot up to the eShop with no problem. Didn't have to update anything. And here it is. I'm actually coming out with a video probably tomorrow exploring the eShop, before it closes. So make sure to check that out. That'll go up tomorrow. And yeah, we'll just scroll through here a little bit. Something funny just to look at is the fact that there are some new releases here, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you release a game on the 3DS when you know the eShop is closing in like a week? So now I was going to go back and actually boot up a game and test it, but of course it's not loading now. We got Super Smash Bros. The cart looks good. I don't know. There could very well be an issue with the pins, like a little bit dirty. Oh, that's not good. That's not loading up. Now, the good thing is these pins are usually pretty easy to clean. I'm trying to take a look inside of them right now to see if I can see anything suspect in there. It's kind of hard to tell without a flashlight or some tools, but let me put that in there again and hopefully boot up. Nice. So now games are not working. Let me try a different game. Okay, Lego Star Wars works. The pins probably need to be clean. It's one of those things where it works sometimes. There it goes. Now it's working. So me personally, the way I like to clean 3DS cartridge slots is I like to take a 3DS game, put some isopropyl alcohol on the pins right here. Not too much, not too little either. And then you slide it in and out, 5 or 6 times. And usually that cleans it up and it works. So I did a race on Mario Kart 7 and, no problems at all. Like the console works great. Something I just noticed is it has somebody's name on here, Amit. I guess I forgot that the games are actually saved on the cartridges. So I guess GameStop doesn't erase the save date on the cartridges, which really does not matter. Just something to point out. And yeah, did you think we'd come to the day where GameStop was selling decently priced consoles that like work? Like GameStop was always the bad guy in the past. And they're still not great, but compared to these new ones I'm checking out, like DK Oldies and Luki Games, like GameStop is so much better. And actually, I have another 3DS XL here. I want to kind of compare it to just to make sure I'm not missing anything on the one from GameStop, make sure there's nothing weird here. I did check out the charging works no problem. Now looking at the back here, for some reason they stuck a new sticker on the back. Like it looks like GameStop printed that out and stuck it on the back there. That is odd. I almost wonder if they used a different shell. They transported a motherboard into this shell because maybe this shell, the serial number does not match up with the motherboard. I wonder if I can take this sticker off and see what's underneath here because that's kind of interesting. No, it's the same. Why would they do that? They put their own sticker on there. I guess maybe so their system could read it and scan it better, but that's just weird. I'm gonna leave that off. I don't know why they did that. But otherwise, the back looks good. Looking at the front, the one I have personally looks a little bit better than the GameStop one. Like it's a bit scuffed up and stuff, but nothing too crazy at all. And actually, the one I have here is a lot worse than the GameStop one. It makes creaking noises and has some scratches there and whatever. But the interesting thing here is you can tell the screens are different, which we kind of already knew because I had to peel the screen film off of this one. This one, when the screen is off, is kind of a grayish, and then the other one, my personal one, is like a blackish when the screen is off. So you can tell they're two different screens. I don't know what type of screen they use for the replacement. Like I don't know if they buy it from China or a specific supplier, but it seems to work fine. Let me actually do a little quick color comparison and see if it looks much different. Now looking at these consoles turned on, the one on the right hand side is my personal one. The one on the left hand side is the one from GameStop, and you can tell the GameStop one has a cooler screen. Now, that doesn't really mean that much because they can be cooler or warmer from factory, so I don't know, but overall, the screen looks pretty good, so no complaints. But again, the inside of the 3DS from GameStop doesn't look too bad. It is a bit beat up, and there is some like dirt and grime in these little cracks right here that they probably should have cleaned out. But let's go ahead and open this console up and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, so back cover off, and looks pretty clean here. Got your authentic battery, it appears. No problems there. Now, something to point out here, when I took the back cover off, I did notice there is some dirt and grime kind of around the edges, which is pretty typical for a handheld console. If it's refurbished, they probably should have cleaned that off. But again, this is very light grime, so not too concerned about that. All right, so taking this back cover off. Oops. I always forget those those two ribbon cables are strapped down, so I just pulled them straight out. Luckily, they're kind of in a way that you can pull them straight out, and it's not going to damage anything unless you rip really hard out. But yeah, it looks fine there. No problems. Coming down the board here, I don't see any issues there either. And yeah, I mean, inside of here is pretty clean. Again, like a little bit of dirt and grime in those same corners. Nothing too crazy. And something I noticed, first of all, I don't remember this wire being green right here. And then also that glue or whatever they use around that chip seems to be something that I wouldn't expect from factory. Now, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't opened up too many 3DS XLs. I've probably opened up like 3 or 4 total in my lifetime. But luckily, I have another 3DS XL here I can open up and do a comparison to. So I did open up the other 3DS. The one on the left here is the GameStop one. And as you can see, they both have the glue there and both have the green wire. So glad I had this other one to compare it to because the GameStop one looks fine. But I want to keep going and see what it looks like underneath this board. All right, so lifting this board off. Yeah, I mean, it looks very clean there. All those pads, the whole circuit board looks very clean. You got your joystick right here, which looks okay on that side. You did see on the other side the joystick had a little bit of dust and grime, but nothing too crazy. And I want to look at these little mesh pads here. See how these look. These are very clean. Yes, so I mean, GameStop either refurbished it or was just clean to start with. So overall, I think GameStop did a pretty good job on this console. Now, originally I was going to give it a 9 out of 10 on refurbishment, but I decided to change that to a 7.5 out of 10 for 2 reasons. So first of all, we saw the cartridge slot, how it didn't work every time. Worked most of the time, but I do think those pins need to be cleaned to really work properly. And then also, I talked about a little bit of grime and dirt down in these corners, but it was actually all the way around the edge of the console. But I did clean it up, and you can see on these Q-tips there is a lot of dirt and grime there. Now, you could really scrub down here and pretty much always pull out dirt and grime because that's just how it is with a handheld console. So I expect a little bit, but it was a little bit excessive. But I'm not going to dock them too much for those two things because those are very minor, and overall it was a nice job done here. So 7.5 out of 10 I think is fair. And let me know down below what you think about this console from GameStop. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.